Okay, maybe that's third time's the charm, everybody. Uh, New studio. It's the same computer setup. It's the same software. I'm having all kinds of trouble today. It's the software, guys. The internet connection here at this building is blazing fast, and I've been having no trouble with that. It's the using the software to get me on to the Western internet that I struggle with, and I'm struggling with it now. And I have a couple of options that allow me to go different places, right? But it's hit or miss. One night, this option will be very good. The next night, the other option will be good. Sometimes they both don't work. Sometimes they're blazing fast, both of them. And even if you have these alternatives to use, it's not always right. It's not always perfect. See, right now so I got one on this computer, and it seems to be working okay. And then I got one on this other computer that's not working. So it can drive you mad. It really can. Anyways, welcome to another live stream, guys. I've tried to do this a couple times. I got about 50 seconds on the first one, 5 minutes on the second one. So I just deleted those, and now I'm back up and running. Hopefully the stream is good. I've reset everything. Sometimes you just need to reset your computer. You know, these computers can be lagging. Now, this is my old computer. This is still the same one I've been using this whole time. It's an i5 Windows PC that's a little over 2.5 years old now. And it's been my workhorse. It's what I do most of my stuff on. I did purchase a brand new Apple M1 chip computer, a Mac Mini, and I got a great setup. I invested a lot of money into this. New screens, new everything. But I haven't learned how to use it yet. It's my first Mac. I'm still learning how to use a Mac. And so far it's been pretty good as far as, you know, it being intuitive, trying to find what I need. I'm still learning how the apps work, and file management is I'm a lifelong Windows guy, and I've done all of my work in Windows. And so converting to a Mac was a little scary. I mean, I have Apple iPhone and an iPad, but I have very, very little experience with the Mac iOS. So it's all very new to me. It looks pretty slick. I won't lie. This thing looks pretty awesome, and I'm excited to learn it, but I don't want to jack it up. You know, I don't want to go in there and start messing with everything until I understand exactly how it all works. So that's what I'm trying to do. My editing software looks like it will work on this computer. So I'm going to transfer that over. Eventually, I do want to go to Final Cut Pro, but again, there's a learning curve to all of this. So my latest video I edited on this i5 Windows, and the next one I'm going to try and edit on the Mac using my Shotcut software, which is an off-the-shelf software. It barely works on this computer, but I think on the M1, even going through Rosetta, I think it'll be blazing fast. So far, it's all 4K, so we'll see how that works. The reviews online have been fantastic, and I've had no problems with this thing. It's been awesome. Together with some new speakers and, you know, my new desk setup here, I'm pretty stoked with how it's all kind of come together this week. Okay, so real quick, while I have you all, again, I can't seem to connect with, I don't know if the stream is good or not. Hopefully it is. It says I have an excellent connection. Please send me a message. Again, this is the third time I've tried this. Send me a message. Tell me if the stream is good, if the audio is okay, because I'm unable to connect with this other thing to double check. As always, my streams are brought to you by fcustom.com. You can go here and get customized jerseys for baseball, football, and basketball. They make excellent gifts. I've got mine. They've sent them. You've seen them in my past live streams. I absolutely love it. It's a very, very good company. I've enjoyed working with them. And if you want to support me and support the channel and get yourself a nice gift, either for yourself or for your family members, Christmas is right around the corner. These make excellent gifts. And man, you can customize it with anything on the front, different jerseys for your home team, and anything on the back if you want. Mine says Walkabout Rojo, and I got Rojo on the back. And if you hit the link below and enter the coupon code WalkaboutRojo, you get an additional 10% off your purchase, and you help support the channel. So again, that's fcustom.com. All right. If you want to see the studio, here's what it looks like. This I took, I think, like 2 nights ago. I'm still playing with it. I'm playing with the setup. Again, this is my old computer here. You can see my new computer there, which I will incorporate into the streams and all this stuff. Stream quality is good. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. Love to hear that. The lighting I'm still playing with, obviously. This is basically about a 50 square meter studio, and it's a corner unit in a brand new building. I love this building. Well, let me tell you, when I first came to China, this was the first neighborhood that I lived in. I lived in a hotel right down the street for about a month. And so I know that I walked around. I told them the story about my first night here and how, I put my backpack on with a couple bottles of water, my passport, and went for a walk in the neighborhood thinking for sure they would see a white guy walking down the street and put me in jail. Of course, that didn't happen. But, I mean, that's typical of what people have an idea of what China's really like. And, of course, it's nothing like that. And it took me all but 15, 20 minutes of walking through the neighborhood to realize that everything that I thought China was not true. And I've been here ever since and been discovering that all my preconceived notions of what China was all about was just simply not true. And it's been a blast. It's been the biggest walkabout of my life, and that's why I started this channel, so you guys can come along with me. So down there, here, let me... So I'm here on the 12th floor. Down there is one of the main roads that goes off into Lihe Plaza, which, they just turned off the lights. They turn off the lights at all the big buildings at 11 o'clock, so it's pretty dark out there right now. And I remember when I first got here, this was an empty lot. There was nothing here. Now it's 4 large towers and a big mall. And I've done videos on this mall, both before it opened and right after it opened. They're on my channel. Just type in new shopping mall in Zhongshan. And I used to work, when I worked for Metin, I worked in the office right next door. And this got great restaurants. It's super convenient. It's right downtown. It's a brand new set of towers, but it's kind of in the older neighborhood. So it's got a great mix of old and new and great energy and a vibe in the neighborhood. So I'm very happy to live here. It's not a cheap place, but it's probably the most expensive place in the neighborhood to live in. But, you pay for comfort, you pay for convenience. And every night this week that I've come home to this apartment, I have felt very, very peaceful. I mean, I still live at the college. I still have my apartment there, and that's where all my stuff is. This is an office. This is a short-term lease that I'm going to try for a couple of months. I've moved my computer. I bought some furniture for this office. I'll tell you about that in a second. And that's all it is, really. It's. I mean, you can see here, it's an office, So there's a TV and a chair that came with the apartment, and on the other side of this black screen is a bed. So I can sleep here when I want to, and I have been because it's so quiet and peaceful here at night. There's a lot of natural light, big windows in this corner suite. The neighborhood is truly quiet at night. After 10 p.m., the mall closes, and there's no bars or night barbecue or big trucks and factories around there. There's no college students running around causing all kinds of ruckus. It's peaceful, and I've woken up here well rested, and that's something I haven't been able to get last few months really at the college because of the construction noise. They're not supposed to start till 7, but they get there like 6, and they're throwing around their equipment and everything. They don't start actually banging away until 7 o'clock. But in the meantime, they're out there, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're moving their trucks around, they're getting all the tools put, in their places, and they're just making tons of noise. And they're there till after midnight. So it's a kind of a nightmare scenario. If you saw my latest video, which is the China Randos video, I took some video from a neighboring building. You can see just where the construction is, and it's starting to move right underneath my bedroom window. And I talked to the college about this, and the college basically said, no, that's your home. That's where you live. The students also complain about it, but of course, they're students. I mean, I'm pretty much the only faculty member that lives on the campus right now, and it is what it is, kind of thing. So it kind of forced my hand to come down here to this place here. As you can see, the new M1 Mac. I don't know how to use Macs. I'm going to learn it. Hopefully everything else will fall into place. Yeah. Again, this mall that I'm on top of, it's a couple of office towers and there's a hotel here. And so that's what this is. This is an office. And if it works out, I will stay. Parking is rather expensive. That's one thing I have to still solve. So these desks, if you can see it here, I'll show you one more time. Hello, Italia to Jason. No, you must be a new guy. I don't know you, man. Mona, thank you for watching. Mona, thank you for all your support, dear. Appreciate it, as always. Ryan, what's your opinion about the camps in Xinjiang? How about you do a walkabout there? Would be interesting. I would love to go to Xinjiang. I don't know anything about the camps. I mean, I've seen videos, both things. I'm one of those guys that, look, if I haven't seen it myself, I have no business talking about it, because news reports, both inside and outside of China, are just so full of propaganda, and they're so one-sided. I'd much rather just see it for myself and make my own opinion. I would love to go to Xinjiang. I'm free to go there. I just don't have the time. I'm working. It's a busy season right now. School's in session. Maybe go there summer. A spring festival, I'm thinking about going to Yunnan. So Xinjiang, I have students that are from Xinjiang, and it looks like a very beautiful place, and definitely a place that I would love to go. I have been to Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, just on the other side of the Chinese border. So I find that those people are some of the friendliest, most amazing. I've talked about it in the past. They're incredible people, incredible culture, and of course the food. The food is fantastic. There's a Xinjiang restaurant here in Zhongshan that we love to go to often. What's the monthly parking fee here? I don't know. I don't know what the monthly fee is. I have to find a parking space that someone owns and rent it from them. In the meantime, it's actually not too bad. It's 25 RMB a day. So what is that? $3.50 a day. I mean, for China, that's that it adds up. But I know if you live in one of the major cities, you say 25 RMB a day. That's cheap, right? I have no interest in seeing the camps. I mean, it's not what I would go there for. I'm not a political guy on this channel, at least, and I have no comment on it. I don't want to comment on it. It's none of my business. But my channel and kind of what I love to do is hiking and seeing scenery, and so that's what I would go there for. I would go there to eat the food and see the natural scenery, the hiking. I mean, that's what I love to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. Let's see. Okay, so these desks, I'll show you. So these desks here. Oh, that's the wrong button. All right, these desks here, these are from IKEA. I originally had bought a couple of desks off Taobao, and they arrived and they were all broken. They were crap. I mean, they were really cheap. They were like $50 a piece, and that's what I wanted. And yeah, they were really heavy. I carried them up here, I opened them up, and they were just like broken in half all over the place. It was pretty nasty, pretty gnarly. So I tried to get a refund, but they said because it's past 5 days, they wouldn't give me a refund. So I just left them a very nasty comment saying, look, this is not good quality product, and it arrived broken. The packaging was terrible, and that's that. But I didn't want to spend money on the desks, but I ended up spending a lot of money on these desks. And I got to tell you, I'm very happy that I did. These are solid, sturdy wood desks, and they'll last me forever. So I'm very, very stoked on this. It's also great when you walk in the door, you smell natural wood. I mean, it smells like a lumber yard in here because there's so much wood. It's great. So I'm very, very happy and stoked about the new working area. Again, I sat here this afternoon and did some work, just some lesson planning, and some file management, cleaning up everything. I did a little bit of work on the new computer and trying to learn it, and it's remarkably peaceful and wonderful place to work. There was another apartment that I was looking at in town. I talked about this, that a friend of mine owns, and it was a great price and top floor, great view and everything near Shumiyan. And but it had too much of this homey feel, whereas I was really looking forward to a work area. And so that's why I ultimately chose this place, because this is an office building. Okay. In addition to the tables, I also bought a new whiteboard, a couple other things on Taobao, and I've been having so much trouble when things come to me. This is why I don't shop on Taobao. I rarely do it, and I rant against shopping online. When I was back home, I never shopped on Amazon either. I have this theory: like, if I can't find it in a local store, then I don't need it, and that has saved me an awful lot of money. But I decided to give it a try just for convenience, if you will. So I bought the tables, I bought a whiteboard, I bought, a rug and everything. But the quality has been so bad, and everything's broken when it gets here. And it was the same thing back home and on Amazon. The quality was always bad and was always broken. So I hate shopping online. So I drove all the way to Foshan, to the IKEA, the big IKEA market there, and I saw these tables, I bought them on spec, and I brought them home with me that day. And I knew the quality was good because I saw it. I put it together myself. There's no substitute for that. And with the whiteboard, I just requested a refund because it was broken. So hopefully they'll send me the money back. And I'm just going to run down to the local store and buy myself a whiteboard. I mean, I don't understand why people... I have this theory that, okay, if you shop online, then it makes you fat because you're just lazy. You just sit on your sofa and shop online. I really don't think it's all that much more convenient. In fact, I think it's more convenient to go to the local store, pick it up, hold it in your hand, touch it, pay for it, and take it home that day. I've just had horrible luck shopping for things online. I know a lot of people swear by it, but I honestly, and when things don't go well with Taobao, then it's time, it's energy. You have to write emails, you have to send things back. It's really a pain in the neck. It's not more convenient. The price might be better, but then you have, I don't know. It's just easier to go to the store, I think. I would like to see a video about a new walkabout in Xiaolan. I am keen to see how all the changes over the last couple of years. Robert, that's a great idea. I haven't done a walkabout in Xiaolan for over 3 years. And there have been a lot of changes in Xiaolan, especially in the newer parts of town. So that's a wonderful idea. I will do that. I still have lots of friends there, and I owe them a visit. I owe a guy, a buddy of mine, a beer and a workout. And there's some great new nightlife in Xiaolan. When I lived in Xiaolan, there was no nightlife. I felt very much alone there. There was a couple of bars that I would go to, but I was really the only one there, and it was pretty empty. There wasn't much going on. And I love Xiaolan. Don't get me wrong. I really, really like it. But my other complaint about it was that there were only like 2 parks, and they're very, very small. It's a factory town. So that's, but the people there are so wonderful and friendly. But they've redone a part of the neighborhood and created a bar street, not really a bar street, but a nightlife street. There's restaurants, there's wine bars, there's movie theaters, there's shopping, and it's revitalized a whole southern part of Xiaolan. And I should go back because I went there after a wedding and had a few beers with some old friends of mine, and I had such a blast. And there was a guy there, a dude, and he's been having fun ever since I left. He kind of went there and he's been enjoying, all the fun that Xiaolan has become. And I'm like, dude, I left and it got fun. I'm so jealous. That's a great idea. I'll have to do that. Ryan, you're trying to trigger me with some of these comments, and it's not going to work, brother. You're I'm sorry, but I disagree with the premise of your question. Why are there so many loser pats in China in denial about what's happening in Xinjiang? Nobody's in denial of it. You just have a different worldview than other people. And those of us who do live in China have a different worldview of things because we see it with our own eyes. We feel it. We breathe the air. We taste it on our tongues. So that's why we have a different view. We're not paid. Nobody's paid to give an opinion on these things. These are our opinions, and it's our worldview. And we have to respect a difference in those opinions. You know, I respect your opinion. I respect other people's opinions. That's fine. But those who have a very positive view of Xinjiang, in fact, I have a good friend of mine, not a good friend of mine, but a friend of mine here in town who has been there multiple times. And he doesn't understand the worldview of some people who have never been there. So that's all I have to say about that. Greetings from India. Have great health, enjoy your work, and stay in China. Thank you very much. I will. I'm planning on doing that. It's a wonderful place to live. Please also pop into Brampton's and send him my regards. Robert, I will. I'll say hi to King for you. I haven't seen him around. He's busy with his new family. But I actually had dinner at Brampton's with an old friend just maybe about 2 months ago. Yeah, we still go to Brampton's has changed a lot. They've really kind of redone it a lot lately. And yeah, it's still a wonderful place to go. Hey, bro, if everything goes okay, I'm planning on returning to China in February. Online, I'm reading that coronavirus is associated with... Have you noticed any stigma towards foreigners? Lao Wai. No. Not really. I mean, there have been some instances that I've documented in my videos where, you know, I'm on a mountain somewhere and, you know, someone sees me and they turn to their children, oh, Lao Wai, we go ren, and then they all don their masks. But I do not feel I've been mistreated in any way. I mean, there were a few instances that during the actual initial outbreak where all foreigners here were kind of ostracized and we felt left out. You know, we weren't allowed into certain businesses. People were generally scared of us. But that kind of has waned quite a bit. In fact, more people are curious. You know, we were on top of the mountain, Mona and I, in Jiangxi, and we were getting our tent, and someone asked, when did he come? You know, so everyone's interested in knowing, okay, when did I come to China? You know, when did I actually arrive into China? And, you know, I tell them, look, I've been here the whole time, and they're totally friendly. They smile and everything. So I really don't feel there's any negative stigma towards foreigners that I have felt. But again, everyone's experience in China is different. It's a large country with lots of different people and lots of different opinions. So I wouldn't worry about that. I really wouldn't. Am I happy with Biden? I'm very happy with Biden. I think it's wonderful to see speeches that are coherent and full of substance and full of policy. I feel like we have an adult back we'll have an adult back in the White House soon. So, Studio looks. Thanks, Fernando. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's very wonderful. It's very peaceful. I'm still playing with it, playing with the camera, where I'm going to place the camera. Again, I'm using my old iPhone as a webcam because I don't have a good camera like you. Lighting, of course. I took your suggestions for the lighting, and I'm still kind of playing with it. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it. I want to try and keep this window and this view in a lot of the video and a lot of the live streams, but with lighting it can get tricky because there's a reflection. So I put a black mat up to try and hold down on the reflection. But as you can see still here, this is my computer monitor there. So I'm still working on it. You know, this is the first time, and for the most part I've been busy teaching and I've been busy doing other things, so I haven't put that much effort into it, but We'll get it. Okay, let's talk about last weekend. I went to the So the Shangri-La Hotel. Ah, it was so beautiful, man. The Shangri-La Hotel in Guangzhou at the Canton Fair Complex. And I got to tell you, I had the time of my life. I had stayed at the Langdon the last time I was there, and I gave the hotel an okay review. It wasn't great, but Shangri-La was about the same price, just slightly more expensive, but not too bad. Less than $100 a night. And showed up, and it was first class all the way. I mean, they treated us like, it was wonderful. It was almost to the par of Ritz-Carlton. I still think Ritz-Carlton is the best. I really do. I haven't had any kind of experience better than Ritz-Carlton, but this one was very close, and everyone there was so great. The facility is a little bit older, but it's been well maintained, and it's super clean, and there's an energy and a vibe at that hotel, not just from the location, but the things that are happening in and around that hotel that just made it a fantastic stay. The food was also really, really great. The breakfast buffet there was one of the best breakfast buffets I've ever experienced in my life. That's how good it was. And I stay in a lot of hotels. This was great. The outdoor swimming pool is closed because it's winter, but we had a great workout and did a yoga session in the gym. And for the most part, it was very convenient to the auto show that we were attending, the Guangzhou International Auto Show, which will be the next video that I release. I've just organized all the files. I got some drone shots. Everything's going to be in 4K. I'm going to try and edit it on my new M1 Mac. This is my first one I'm trying to do on it. So it might take me a couple of days to finish it. It's going to be a very long video. But a lot of you guys seem to like my car videos. They seem to do very well on my channel. So I'm putting into place some things to do more car videos. The car show was enormous. Oh my God. It was bigger than the LA car show. And, in Los Angeles, you think, okay, it's Los Angeles International Auto Show. It's got to be one of the biggest ones out there, right? Along with Detroit, Geneva. But this one was the biggest thing I've ever seen. It took up the entire Canton Fair complex, 2 floors. And it just went on and on and on. We had cars from all around the world, over 1,000 new models. And I got to say, some of these Chinese cars just continue to blow me away. I saw the BMWs and the Mercedes, and yeah, they're nice. They're okay, but they're kind of bland. Everyone sees them. There's nothing new, really. I saw the Ford and the Toyotas and the Hondas and the Volkswagens, and they're kind of bland when you compare it to what's coming out of China in the design, these home companies here. It's like night and day. And it was fantastic. Some of these, especially the electric car companies that are coming out here. Tesla had a small little booth. Small comparatively. I mean, Tesla's area was really small. They didn't even have a Model S there. They had Model 3 and they had one Model X. And we sat in the Model 3. It was great. It was very busy. There were tons of people interested in Tesla. It was a very popular booth. But then you had Xiaolan, you had NIO, you had all these other Chinese, BYD, a couple of other ones. There was one called High Five that was just insanely amazing car. It was the most amazing car I've ever seen in my life. And I got a lot of great video about that. I can't wait to show you guys. And it just went on and on and on. By far, though, the most interesting booth at the auto show was Nissan. And, Nissan has been kind of teetering on the brink lately. They haven't been doing very well. But they seem to be doing this huge push to new models. Like in the next 2 years, they're supposed to introduce like a ton of new models. And they're really doing a huge push on marketing. So their booth was very big. And they had 2 tracks, indoor tracks, where you can drive it. You can drive a car on one track that kind of hovered over the people, and then there was another one behind that. They called it the X-Trail track that the SUVs were driving on. So they had 2 places indoors that you can drive. Oh, so it was awesome. And it was beautiful. It was so well done. You wanted to hang out there because it was just this indoor oasis. Nissan did a fantastic job. Amazing. The Ford. Here's one thing I'll say about Ford. My father loves Fords, so he's got a 20-year-old Ford F-150 that is still running. That thing is just a monster tank. So I went to the Ford, and Ford is near Lincoln. And as soon as you walk on there, there are like four people that want to give you their business card, and they won't leave you alone. They're like, "Hey, let's go look at the Navigator. Let's go look at. Oh, check this out. We have this new Ford Explorer. Check this out." I mean, they were just so in your face and everything. It was annoying. I just wanted to leave. You know that. You know that was a bummer. Lots and lots of beautiful models. You know, if I gone to the one here in Zhongshan, there'll be like one or two models. You know, we're talking like the tall, pretty girls and the little skimpy outfits, right? But every car seemed to have a girl sitting by it. And right next to these guys walking around with these big fancy cameras just filming the girls. They didn't care about the car. They were just filming the girls. It was really creepy. Half of the models were wearing masks. The other half weren't. God, they were just all very tall. Just super, super tall. Amazing. Oh, we had a good time. Let's see. Yes, I'm drinking scotch tonight. Try out the Four Seasons. I have been to the Four Seasons at the IFC Tower. I think it's an incredible property. As you know, I'm very much a Ritz-Carlton guy, but Four Seasons, I worked at a property in Newport Beach that had just converted from a Four Seasons. It became the Island Hotel. So all the employees there were the former Four Seasons. The hotel was basically a Four Seasons. And I'm also a big fan of the Four Seasons. This one is beautiful, and I have to go check it out. I'd love to stay there, but they don't offer any deals, at least not to me. I mean, when I look at a hotel to stay at in Guangzhou, I'm looking at one that will give me the most interesting experience, but will also give me a good deal. And the Four Seasons hasn't offered me a good deal. There's always something else out there that's a little bit better. So that's how I ended up at the Shangri-La. But it is a hotel that I would love to stay in, and I'd love to swim in that swimming pool. That swimming pool is one of the highest swimming pools in the world you can swim in. I would love to do that. How's your Havel? My Havel's doing great. I just surpassed 120,000 kilometers on it. So in 1 year, I've put about 25,000 kilometers on this car, which is all right. I did put a lot of work into it, not rebuilding the engine, but, just tuning it up, after I first bought it. So I've gotten my money's worth most definitely in the last year on this Havel, and it's still running like a champ. There are no issues with it. There is one issue, actually, that the headliner is starting to peel a little bit. So it's a 10-year-old car. So I got to fix the headliner. But other than that, everything works perfectly on that thing. And I'm coming up on a time to change the timing belt. So I'm going to have to do that soon. I'll probably do that around Spring Festival maybe. So yeah, I got to get that done. Yeah. It's got a Mitsubishi engine in it, and the thing is a champ. As you guys know, I had to change the clutch. That was at about 100,000 kilometers. I changed the clutch, but yeah, no issues with it whatsoever. It's been great. The Rojo Aura concept car is amazing. Rojo has some great cars. I like them. They were great. They got a new SUV that blew me away. What does it take to become a China shill? Ryan. Okay. What do you call a shill? There's a lot of, it's really kind of annoying. A lot of this talk in the China YouTube community about shilling and, if you say good things about, China, then you're a shill. And I think that's completely stupid. I really don't buy into that whatsoever. If anything, if you want to call me a shill, you should call me an American shill, because I'm a proud American. I love my country. But I think this pitting people, one side or the other, is a waste of time and a waste of breath. So I don't fall into that. At the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters, and I truly believe that China and America are friends. If you watch the news and you listen to politicians on both sides, you might get a sense that we are at odds with one another. Yeah, we have disagreements, we have issues that we are working out. Now that I think with a new president, we'll have an adult in the room to help us work out these issues. But what people don't realize is how much our two countries are connected through business and through people. And the longer I'm in China, the more I see just how much alike we really are, and how much our lives are intertwined, and how much our futures are dependent on one another. And so working together is the best way to solve all of our issues. Not just issues between our two countries, but issues around the world. China and America and European Union, and to some extent the ASEAN countries, which is an up-and-coming thing, the African Union, all of these are the leaders, and we need to step up and be leaders together and work together. So I don't buy into this China shill crap. Sorry, I don't. No offense, Ryan. All right. All right, enough about the car show. You'll get to see those videos coming out soon. Well, we were there. We were in Guangzhou. We hung out with Michael from Expat Survival. Great channel. If you want to know the ins and outs of living in China and working in China, anything other than being a teacher like me, his channel is the one to go. He gives so much information, so much concise information about how to live here and how to live your life here. Highly recommend it. He's also a very nice guy and a humble guy with a beautiful family. And I'm very stoked that we got to hang out with him and go have some Mexican food at Bandidos near the American consulate in Guangzhou. Fantastic food, fantastic place. It'll be in the video. So I want to publicly give a quick thank you to Michael and his wife for hosting Mona and I for dinner that night. So if Michael comes to Zhongshan, it'll be my turn to return the favor. Although we don't have Mexican food here in Zhongshan, we'll find some other groovy stuff to snack on. Work has been killing me. I have been so busy with work at the college. Again, I'm the only foreign teacher there, so I've been doing it all. And of course, moving has been, again, I didn't move all my stuff here. It's just kind of like a crash pad occasionally for the weekends when I'm not at the college. Future travel, I have no plans on traveling. I'm going out to Huizhou this weekend just for, a night or two, a day or two, and I'm going to relax a little bit. And then in the future, Mona and I have been talking about doing some more hiking. Guangzhou is a video that I've got coming out after the auto show video. It's going to be a two-part. It's a lot, but Guangzhou, if you watch my Facebook page, you can see that it is just one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life, and I can't wait to share that with you. It really is emotional place. We're thinking about going back to Jiangxi, but we can also go to Guizhou. There's a couple of beautiful places there. But I kind of floated the idea of going to Yunnan province for Spring Festival. I get about 6 weeks off. So I thought about doing one of my dream trips of flying into Kunming, renting a car and driving up into the mountains to see Shangri-La and Dali and Lijiang. So this is something that I'm thinking about doing. So we have two incompatible business models. When trade and business practices align, we may see improvement, but for now I think the Trump approach has produced produces more light on the difference. It definitely has produced more light on our differences, but I don't think we're incompatible business models at all. I think we are symbiotic in so many ways. At the end of the day, business is business, and the business models here, in many ways, China is very, very capitalistic in their business models. I'm talking about everyday business. I'm not talking about large business enterprises. That's a different when you start talking about super large business enterprises and the government gets involved. Obviously, there are going to be some differences, but everyday businessmen. I mean, think of how big this country. This country is 4 times bigger than America, and the everyday businessman here has the same goal as an American businessman. The same thing, money. Make money. How do I make money? How do I take care of my family? How do I send my children to the best schools? How do I put food on the table? How do I invest in the future and provide for my retirement? How do I live the cleanest, most comfortable and prosperous life for me and my family? That is, at the end of the day, what we share. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. And in the Trump era, that is something that people have lost sight of, is that it doesn't matter America or China or India and China or Africa and South America or the European Union and Australia. It doesn't matter. All trade is based around this primal concept. And there are going to be some differences, but when you have adults in the room to work out those differences, we can work together. But at the end of the day, there's a baseline that we all share. And that's why I have so much optimism for the future. So, do you think Trump is a good businessman? I have no doubt that Trump was a good businessman. I mean, I remember when I was in real estate, I worked in real estate. I read all his books and kind of looked at him as kind of like, okay, he's a real estate guy. He's hard-nosed. He wants to get the best deal. I never thought in a million years he would run for president, and I thought he was a terrible president. I don't think we need a businessman as our president. You cannot run a country like a business. A country is so much more than a business. We need a statesman to run the country, and that's why I'm very happy with our new president-elect. I think Trump is your typical real estate businessman. I've met so many of these real estate businessmen who are all about face and drive, $200,000 cars when they take home only $50,000 a year, because they have to appear to be successful, fake it to make it kind of thing. They skirt the rules, and they have this attitude, catch me if you can. I think Trump is one of those guys. He over-embellishes his abilities and what's going on. He uses adjectives that probably should not be used to describe his business. The dude is much more successful than I am, and probably smarter than me. Who knows? I don't consider myself to be a very smart guy, but I just think he was a terrible president. So as far as businessman goes, that remains to be seen. He's been pretty secretive, as most of these real estate guys are very secretive about their finances. No one really knows for sure. Nobody really knows. At the end of the day, he had a great life, and he's got very successful children, and you got to give it up for that. You got to give it up for that. Whether or not it was legitimate or not, no one really knows. But there's all this conjecture, and where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing. But no one really knows for sure. Okay. All right, let's move on to the news. Let's see here. Again, all of my videos are brought to you by fcustom.com. Remember, hit the link below, get 10% off of your purchase. They make great gifts. Thank you for those of you who have bought them in the past. I appreciate your support of the channel, and I hope you got a good gift out of it. Let me know. So, again, there's the new studio. You can follow me on Facebook. Facebook Walkabout Rojo. You can get photos of everything that's coming up in the future as far as future videos, and you can also converse with me there. You can send me an email there if you'd like. You can you can buy me a cup of coffee. Again, I love my coffee, and when I'm editing, I'm usually drinking a cup of Joe. So you can support me that way, or you can support me on Patreon. I've said this every time. Patreons are really the unsung heroes of the YouTube community, especially here in China. So thank you to the 5 of you that support me out there. As you can see, I only make $25 a month. I'm very, very open and honest about these people, and I want to thank them for their support. They really are a driving force when I think about my channel and the work I do. I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about, okay, they are giving me money to create content about my life, and hopefully I'm doing them a service. So, all right, here's a AI-supported library opens in Guangzhou. I thought this is a very short little thing. I thought this was interesting. The Guangzhou Library in Zhujiang Newtown is an incredibly beautiful building. It's huge, and I've been to all of it. I've never taken a video of it, but it's right next to the Ritz-Carlton and right next to the Guangdong Provincial Museum, which is yet another place that I haven't gone to yet. But this one is in, I think it's in Nansha. Yeah, the Nissan library supports key AI technologies, including a robotic sorting system, customized AR glasses, and facial recognition. So the AR glasses, this is what interests me. I'm curious. I want to go here and find out what this augmented reality glasses experience would be at this library. This is graphene electronic paper is also applied in the library. Resembling an inkstone, it covers about 11,000 square meters with 1,000 reading seats inside and is designed volume of 900,000 books. Integrated with advanced technologies, the library has become a new landmark in the Greater Bay Area of Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau. So, yeah, it looks amazing. See if they let me fly my drone there and get some aerial shots of it. That would be cool. Diamondback, I love you, but I respectfully disagree. I do agree with this. I do think Trump's not going away. Even if he's not going to be in the White House, we're going to have to live with him. He's going to be a very big player in the political scene. He's going to go on these lecture circuits. He's going to give rallies. He's going to, forgive me to use the word, trump up his supporters. Yeah. That Trumpism is not going away anytime soon. It's here to stay for a long time. And his son, Trump Jr., I'm sure has ambitions for politics as well. He's here to stay. It's something we're going to have to live with for quite a while. Okay. Which I'm actually not very happy about, as you can imagine. Okay. Great artworks to be displayed at International Art Fair. This is something I'd like to go. This is in Guangzhou, one of China's 3 biggest international art events. The 25th Guangzhou International Art Fair will kick off in Nanfang International Convention and Exhibition Center tomorrow and last through the weekend. I'm not going to be able to go to this because I'm going to Huizhou for the weekend. But some of this artworks kind of caught my eye. I thought this one was interesting. I like that. I can't tell. Are they scuba divers or are they aliens? I can't really tell. The main part of the art feast, masterpieces by internationally reputed artists like Zhao Chunya and Yue Minjun will be on display. Well, that's interesting. It's not a bad looking piece of art. Again, I love going to art museums. I really just sit there and stare at it. I can't draw like this. I can't paint like this. Oil painter Zhao Chunyu's Spring is Coming was sold for $12 million on August 18th at a Beijing auction, setting a record price for the artist. I think the art game, as far as the art collecting game and the money involved, I don't know if I think it's kind of a scam. Okay. See, I mean, look at the detail in this. This is incredible. That even looks like a photograph. All right. Okay, Ryan's got another comment here, and I'll respond to this one. Ryan says, might it be that China is now more isolated from the world due to what they did? I completely disagree with this premise. I mean, China is definitely not isolated from the world. I know that there's a narrative out there going around that China is isolating itself from the world because of their business practices or their involvement in the world. I don't like getting into politics, but let me tell you this. They just signed the biggest trade deal ever. Ever. The biggest free trade deal in history. People want to do business with China. People are doing business with China. China is not retreating from the world and is not being isolated. The policy that America has taken of America first has isolated itself. And that's something I've railed against for years, and I'm hoping that we can turn that around. I think Biden's message that we are back, we're going to be taking on leadership roles in world organizations, is a great thing so that we can engage with the world again. That's what I want America to do. China hasn't gone anywhere. China has not been isolated whatsoever. In fact, China has only expanded their influence in the world because of this leadership vacuum that has been created over the last 4 years under the Trump administration. And China's taken advantage of that, so they should. And that's how I see it. I definitely don't think they're isolating themselves, and people are not isolating them. Yeah, there are some incidences here where certain businesses are being denied access to certain markets. Something to be said about that. That's a different debate that we can have. But you can't forget how big this China is. Not one or two companies. China is not one or two policies. It's 1/6 of humanity. And trust me, they're here and they're here to stay, and they are in every pocket of the world, including America. And that's something that we should acknowledge and embrace. I don't know what else to say to that. Yes, I love politics, but of course, my audience doesn't really like talking about it. So I feel like these political battles are going to generate extremely expensive and unnecessary costs in the States. I agree. It's just going to cost more money. It's just the battles and fighting, hate breeds hate, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just going to be worse, just like it has been in the last 4 years. So why don't we just acknowledge what's going on and embrace each other as brothers and sisters, which we already are, and move forward together. I mean, we're going to have little spats and differences, and we have systems and people in place to work that out. And again, our primal reason for being here is to live our lives. So that's what we're doing. Well, he says, I became less interested in politics after this election. Well, the election's over. It's been over for almost a month now. I wish certain people could acknowledge that, but it's been over, and I'm happy that it's over. We got another 2 years before the other midterms, so hopefully we can have a breather for a little while. That would be great. All right. Shanghai has a hole-in-the-wall cafe run by disabled baristas. Check this out. The owners of the Bear Claw Cafe, as it's popularly known, say they wanted to help people with disabilities and limited job prospects. Only in 2020 could an artificial bear claw serving you coffee be a sign of goodwill. Your coffee is ready, a soft female voice says, as a furry brown paw emerges from a literal hole-in-the-wall cafe holding a latte. That's so cute, a customer responds, shaking hands with the claw and posing for a photo. I think, will this video play? No, it won't. There's a GIF here, yeah. So that's kind of cool. What a great idea, you know? Excuse me. So all my friends in Shanghai, go say hi to the Bear Claw Hole-in-the-Wall Cafe. Remember, I'm going to be reading a lot more of these on Rojo Reads the News. Guangzhou restaurant review. TNC restaurant. Of course, the photos caught my eye on this one. Okay, I'm getting hungry now. I think McDonald's might still be open. Shoot, it's after midnight. Oh my God, I've been online for over an hour now. Guangzhou recently welcomed one of its first Korean-Mexican fusion restaurants, taking on a concept that originated from Los Angeles and combines two celebrated cuisines. I love this fusion food. In LA, they have these Korean taco trucks. They're very, very popular. Very, very popular. I can't remember the name of them now, but fusion foods, incredible. When I was in Hong Kong, I had Korean-infused pizza with chocolate and powdered sugar along the outsides, mixed in with pepperoni and some bell pepper. Oh, I love fusion foods. We check out TNC on Sunday night, which is located in Xingshanglu, across the road from McDonald's. Small restaurant can accommodate 20 people at the same time. It gets busy after 7 p.m. So the menu is exciting options besides classic burritos, tacos, quesadillas, and nachos. We also find a lot of Korean elements such as Kobe beef, kimchi, and bibimbap. Oh, look at the nachos. Are you guys getting hungry? Look at that. Okay, I'm officially hungry now. Okay, everyone's talking about politics in the chat, so yeah, I would agree, Ryan. Don't. It's not even worth it. Not even worth going there. Okay, I disagree, 100%. Yeah, I'm not talking about that stuff anymore, guys. It's just gonna cause me to lose my mind. Love to debate with you offline about it, though. Okay. Chengdu and Chongqing look to host the 2032 Summer Olympic Games. I haven't been to Chengdu, but I have been to Chongqing, and it's freaking huge. It would be a cool, maybe, is it looking like combined? Yeah. Last week, Southwest China's Chengdu and Chongqing announced a plan to bid for the 2032 Summer Olympic Games. That would be great for that part of the world. I mean, I've never been to Chengdu, but I hear incredible things. You know, I've got a good buddy of mine who lives there, and it's supposed to be an up and coming. Of course, Chongqing is one of those cities that not many people outside of China know about, but it's one of the largest urban areas in the world. It's a fantastic city. It's beautiful. And of course, Chongqing hot pot, most excellent, right? Oh, man. So, yeah, elevate Chengdu and Chongqing's international sports influence and global competitiveness. Not exactly a great start for the two metropolises. The Sichuan capital, Chengdu, has already set its sights on becoming a world-famous city for sports, with various events lined up over the next few years, including the 2022 World Table Tennis Team Championship and the 2023 Asian Cup Football Tournament and the 2025 World Games. Wow. So Chengdu, again, maybe that's a place that I got to put on my list to go soon, man. Okay. The best and worst cities to live in worldwide. Global Finance Magazine created a list of the best cities to live in. Did yours make the tip? 4 Chinese cities, including Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, and Taipei, took the positions in the ranking. So, top 10 best. Number 10, Sydney. I can believe it. Never been there. Number 9, Berlin. Berlin is one of those cities I really want to go to because I hear the architecture. Yeah, architecture is supposed to be incredible. Seoul, another city. I haven't been to Korea. It's one of those. I've been to Japan now. I've been most of Southeast Asia. Korea's on my list. I got to go to Seoul to check it out. Paris. I'm actually surprised by that. Okay. Frankfurt. I have been to Frankfurt, Germany. I've been there. I spent a couple days there. Incredible city. I didn't get to see too much of it. The thing that got me the most about Frankfurt was when we got into a taxi cab. It was a BMW. And I remember I was so young at the time, and I thought, okay, you know, in America, people spend tons of money on Benz and BMW. And in Germany, they're taxi cabs. It was kind of It was one of the very first international trips I ever took in my life. So it's a big eye opener for me. Melbourne, another Australian city. Look at that. I have an old student going to school in Melbourne, and she loves it there. New York. Again, my favorite city in the world is New York. And I'm from LA. And I know there's this rival between New York and LA, but New York, incredible, incredible city. The energy there is unlike anywhere else in the world. And of course, also a great food city. Singapore, a great city, very hot. And, rather small. I was surprised at how small Singapore really was. But incredible people, incredible fusion of cultures. And if you like food, that is a great food city. All right, Diamondback, I will take your suggestion. I have not watched the new Mandalorian season yet. I've been too busy to watch anything. I downloaded a couple movies. I haven't been to the movies since Tenet. 2 months ago, 3 months ago? I don't even remember. I haven't been watching anything because I've been so busy working. So I'm kind of waiting for all of The Mandalorian to be released, and then I'm probably going to binge it. I hear the latest episode is really great. It kind of brings back the concept of Jedi. So I'm excited for that. And yes, I agree with it. I'd rather talk about Mandalorian than politics in these streams. So. Number 2, London. I haven't been to London. At number 1, Tokyo. Tokyo is an insanely amazing city. I think I got to spend 4 days there, and I only scratched the surface. I didn't even go to the popular places. But there were so many things that surprised me about Tokyo. I'd love to go back. Okay, guys, it's late. I have to wake up and go to work in the morning. That's what we do. But I want to thank you all for joining me. Ryan, you're not going to trigger me, brother. Sorry. You make up your own mind. Everyone out there can make up your own mind. I completely admit 100% that I don't understand China very much, and neither do you. I'd say people who live in China don't understand China very much. It's that complicated, and that's one of the draws and the reasons why I live here, is because I'm smart enough to know that I don't know everything, and I'm humble enough to know that I need to learn as much as I can while I'm here. And that's why I stay. Every day is a lesson. Every day is a life-changing moment that changes my worldview, changes the way I think about things, about myself and my place in this world. And, So that's what I'll have to say about that. For the rest of you guys, thank you all for joining me. I hope it wasn't too contentious. Again, all of my live streams are brought to you by fcustom.com. You can go to fcustom.com, hit the link below, and enter the coupon code WalkaboutRojo for an additional 10% off. If you like what you see, please support the channel and get yourself a nice little gift for yourself or your family. It'd be wonderful. All you guys are just now coming on. Jamaica Funk, thank you for joining me. All right. Sorry, brother. I got to get off, man. It's just really late. And I will see you all in